So go to chapter 6, appropriateness of different forms of ownership. That means how appropriate these businesses are. How right are they? Are we sure we are doing the right business? Are we sure we are following the right step? Are we sure that this form of business is in line with what the law says? This is what appropriateness is. So we'll go down, please. We'll start, please. Factors affecting the appropriateness of different forms of business. The first one, growth. So when we talk about factors, we're talking about things that could hinder or that stops the appropriateness of any business organization. The growth, number one. When businesses start small and gradually get bigger, most businesses change their legal status as they grow. This is because they need to raise more capital. For example,
what do you mean legal status?
Legal status. That means how are they? Are they a sole trader? Is it a sole trader? Is it a public limited company? Is it a partnership? This is what legal status is. Clear? Clear, please?
Clear.
Okay. So the first thing is about the growth. So, for example, sole traders often find it difficult to raise additional finance. However, by taking on a partner or becoming a private limited company, they can raise more money. This is because more owners can generate more capital, and limited companies have access to a wider range of finance options. Similarly, if the owner of a private limited company wants to raise even larger amounts of capital, they may consider becoming a public limited company. So the first factor that affects appropriateness of a business is the growth. I want to talk about the growth. We're talking about the kind of legal status it has. A sole trader will find it difficult to find money to expand his business through banks. They will consider it as a small business and a high risk. So if it needs to raise finance, it might need to find another partner. It becomes a partnership. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So how big or small your business is and how you want it to be it's a matter of your accessibility to finance. Do you get the point I'm making here? So for growth here, if you want to become bigger as a business, as a sole trader, you want to become bigger, you need to become a partnership. You need to start thinking about a partner. As a private limited company, if you want to raise more capital, you need to go public by flotation. That is the point about growth here. So your growth can be hindered if you don't change your legal status. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
The second one, your size. So many small businesses are sole trader and partnerships. Public limited companies are much larger with thousands of employees and huge turnovers. It could be argued that a very large business could only be run effectively if it were a limited company. Although, of course, there are exceptions. So the size. Sometimes the size also distorts or also affects how appropriate the business will be. So the business is supposed to be run well, but because it's too big for its legal status, for what it is, then it cannot be run properly.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm making there. Do you get the point or not?
Yeah.
It's a sole trader that is too large might not be run appropriately if it is not partnership. Because if it becomes a partnership, different skills will be involved, not only your skills. That is the point there. Is it clear?
Yeah.
The third one, the need for finance. Finance is one of the main reasons why owners change the legal status of their business. Quite often, the only way to get more money is to change the type of organization. So, another reason why businesses would change their legal status is because they need to raise finance. The only way to raise finance is to change how your status is. Or a sole trader, you want to raise more money. You might not be able to raise it privately. You might not be able to raise it yourself.
Yeah.
You might need someone, additional partner. You might need a partner. So to raise more capital as a sole trader, you might need to become a partnership business. That's another reason. Is it clear? And the last one, limited liability. We'll talk about limited liability. Limited liability means that the owners are protected. The business is different from the owners of the business. They have a legal identity. They have a separate legal identity. So if you feel or you understand that you don't want to lose your private property as a result of debt to the business, you should think about limited liability. You shouldn't think about being a sole trader or partnership.
A limited company.
Is it clear? Any question about that?
No.
Okay. Now we go on to other factors. So other factors like the type of business activity may influence the choice of legal status. For example, services such as plumbing, decorating and gardening tend to be provided by sole trader. So the kind of service you render can also be a factor to the kind of business, to the kind of legal status you have. A plumber, a barber, a barber doesn't need to become partners. A barber does not need to have a public limited company.
Yeah.
Do you get it? That's the point they're making there. So the kind of service you render or the kind of work you do can also determine your legal status. The next one, the way in which a business plan to use its profit may be important. For example, PLCs usually pay dividends to their shareholders. Therefore, growing businesses that prefers to invest a lot of its profits may choose to remain as a private limited company. So another point is how you want to use your profits. How you want to use your profits simply means what? It simply means, what do you want to do with your profits as a business? What you want to do with your profits. So for the appropriateness here, if you think you want to reinvest your profits into the business, you shouldn't think about becoming a public limited company. Because when you become a public limited company, you have to pay dividends to shareholders.
Yeah.
Do you get the point here? So it's preferable you stay as a private limited company. But for a private limited company, the profit will be shared among the friends and family.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need to pay shareholders, or you stay as a sole trader. So the kind of the way in which you want to the way you want to utilize your profit can also determine the legal status your business will have. A sole trader means all the profit is kept to you, all the profit belongs to you. But if you think about having additional capital, you need to change your legal status from being a sole trader to partnership. Do you get it? Same goes to profit. If you think about keeping all the profit to yourself, then you can't be partnership. You can only stay as a sole trader. Is it clear?
Makes sense.
Yeah. And the last one, finally, the different stakeholders such as employees and shareholders might influence the choice of organizations. For example, leading employees in a private limited company might discourage the shareholders from going public. They may argue that the company operates more effectively without external owners. Another factor that makes your legal status or the legal status of a business to remain the way it is the influence of employees and the influence of employees and shareholders. So when we talk about employees, the people that work in your business, they might advise you not to go public. They might advise you not to have partners, that you will operate well when it is you that they are dealing with. So that makes you to stay as a sole trader, or that makes you to think about becoming to think about having partners. So influence of employees and shareholders might also have an effect that might also affect the appropriateness of a business. Is it clear? Any question about it?
No.
Good. We move on.
It's so obvious.
Okay, good. If it's obvious, it's fine. It means it's making sense. So we move on. Are you there?
Yes.
So it is likely, objectives and the type now, right? Objectives and the type of the organization. Are you there? It is likely that the different types of business organizations will have different objectives. Some examples are given below. One, small sole trader might be happy to make a modest amount of profit, just enough to fund a comfortable lifestyle. That is profit satisfying. So a sole trader might not need to make large amount of profit.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So as a result, it doesn't want to expand. It's okay being a private limited company or a sole trader. Is it clear? The second one, family businesses and other medium-sized private limited companies often do not wish to go public because they are afraid of losing control to outsiders. So for a private limited company or a medium-sized business, they might be afraid to lose the control to outsiders. As a result, they want to remain private limited company. Clear? Clear, please?
Yes.
Multinationals. Most multinationals want to grow. Their aim is often to get bigger and bigger so that they can dominate global markets. So for multinationals, they want to get bigger. They want to grow as much as possible for dominance. So for them, they are not afraid. They are not scared to go public, to sell more shares. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the objective, that means a small business has a separate objective from a medium-sized business, and a medium-sized business has a separate objective from a large multinationals. Any question about that?
Yeah,
so
no.
We have multi-choice question now. Read, please.
Okay, which of the following business activities is likely to be operated by a sole trader?
Number one,
Number one, motor car manufacturing,
manufacturing.
chemical processing, banking, and gardening service.
So which one will be a sole trader?
Banking is very impossible. Chemical processing, I don't think so, no. We have gardening service and motor car manufacturing. Mister,
So which one is
it's
the
gardening service
gardening service? Great. Question
because
two.
it's the easiest you can do, like for a
Yes,
business.
great. Question two.
Okay, number two. What is the most appropriate form of a business for the multinational operators? Public limited company.
Great. Question three.
So obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, what is an appropriate form of business for a self-employed taxi driver? Multinational, public limited company, sole trader, and cooperative.
For a self-employed taxi driver,
You know, there's a self-employed sole trader.
sole trader, great.
It's self-employed.
Self-employed.
So you're
Self-employed, not employed.
it's self-employed, employed.
Yeah.
It's already there.
Yeah, that's how I see. Question four.
Yeah, number four. Which is the following is the most likely to affect the appropriateness of a particular form of business? We have let's see, the rate of inflation in the economy, geographical location, the financial risk owners are prepared to take, the views of employees.
That was the last thing we talked about.
I know. Mm. The financial risk owners are prepared to take.
Is that your answer?
Mm.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
No, it's wrong. The views of employees. I told you the last thing I talked about is the views of the influence of employees and shareholders. They might decide, they might tell you, they might influence your decision about how you want to change your legal status. It's deep. It's fine. At least you got 3 out of 4. It's fine. I think you know now.
Yeah.
So any question now for chapter 4,
no.
chapter 6, right? Done,
So
right?
to increase appropriateness, it needs the view of
Employees, yes. So that ends chapter 6. Appropriateness of
a particular form of business.
business, yes. Thank you. And